to this video where you will be educated about a 7-year-long revolution in a short amount of time. Good luck. We begin at the end of the 7-Year War, which was fought by large European countries, and the fighting took a heavy toll on Britain's economy, who tried to earn back their money through taxing the American colonies. This failed, and after a boycott of British goods and the Boston Massacres, tensions rise. After British took control of Massachusetts, a brain trust was created, militias were formed, and soon following was the first trial of the revolution. They soon followed with the storming of the military fort. King George III then replaced a general of the British Army, and Washington was put in the head of the American army. They fought a battle, and the Americans proved that they were serious, but they didn't want independence. That only happened when Thomas Paine wrote a book called Common Sense that spread the idea of independence. Meanwhile, the British burnt down towns contributing to American propaganda, and the Americans finally ended the long siege in Boston, with arms and weapons provided by the French and Spanish, who gave a lot of assistance throughout the war. Soon after, influenced by Paine's book, the Declaration of Independence was written, and on July 4th, 1776, America was born. But the war was not over. America melted down a statue of King George into 42,000 musket balls, and seen as treason to the British, they sent 130 warships and 25,000 soldiers and hit hard, forcing the Americans from New York to Pennsylvania, and Washington's leadership was put into question. However, he made a dangerous journey across the Delaware River, surprising the German mercenaries stationed there during the winter, and he went on a streak, winning 3 battles in 10 days. The colonists also sent Ben Franklin to get help from the French. The British devised a foolproof plan to defeat the Americans, cutting off the colonies, but one general didn't follow the plan, and so it failed. After the Americans won a battle in Saratoga, the French decided that it was time to join, and so they were officially in the war with Britain and helped turn the Americans. Spain too joined the war effort in 1799, with the Dutch unofficially supporting the Americans, but the war still continued through 1780, so the British tried to secure the southern colonies, which worked. To combat this, the Americans sent a man by the name of Nathaniel Greene to take back the states, and although the British won, he nearly took out a quarter of their army. At this point, both sides were severely battered and ready to give up, but with more French showing up to the Americans' aid, it was looking bad for the British. After the Americans launched an attack on the British Navy in Virginia, they surrendered. In the aftermath, the British gave them some territory and recognized their independence, and the Americans paid off their debts, and they both lived happily ever after.